I am Shannon Pritchett. For those of you who don't know me, I have been in the industry for quite some time. I currently lead marketing for hireEZ, but I got my start in recruiting where I spent more years as a recruiter than as a marketer. Community has always driven me, and community has always been my passion. And matter of fact, that's my strategy here at hireEZ. So I am here today to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, and then I'll introduce our CEO and co-founder, Stephen Jiang. So first, let me start with the fact that obviously I've been in your shoes before, and I know how difficult it is to recruit and how unfair it can be, right? We've all been in those shoes where, we want to try to find the best candidate, but sometimes the information that we're given just isn't good enough, right? We're always expected to find talent for roles that we've never actually recruited for ourselves. And as recruiters, we rely heavily on keywords that are stitched together from vague job descriptions, unclear meeting with hiring managers, right? Because those are never what we want them to be, and resumes that rarely align with the other two. And far too often, our searches unintentionally exclude more talent than they actually do include, right? That's sourcing. And sometimes our inboxes are filled with silence, occasionally broken by replies from those that just aren't quite right. Because the candidates that we always want to respond rarely do, while those less qualified always do, right? That's just what we deal with. Now, recruiting can sometimes feel like a relentless game that is full of guesswork and uncertainty. And as I like to say, an uphill battle for clarity. But today, that all changes. Now, we are excited to introduce something very special that we've been working on for quite some time at hireEZ, and that is our Agentic AI. Now, this isn't just another recruiting tool. It's your partner, your companion. I like to call it my personal coach, built to understand your workflow, your challenges, and your goals. Now, remember when ChatGPT launched and how successful that has been? I think it's the fastest growing software that we've ever seen. Well, overnight, millions felt smarter, millions felt more clear, and millions became more confident. Communication improved, decisions became easier and faster. Now, Agentic AI brings this exact same transformation directly to recruiting. So imagine beginning your day with a short list of perfectly matched candidates, not random ones, but thoughtfully intelligent matched candidates. Imagine creating emails that truly resonate and connect. Imagine feeling less uncertain and more unstoppable. Now, Harvard research reminds us that discovery triggers dopamine, which is that thrilling rush when you find the perfect candidate and they respond. Imagine using a recruiting software that not only gives you confidence and clarity, but it gives you that hit of dopamine each time you use it as well. Now, I don't think we've seen that in our industry just yet, but you're about to. Our agentic AI taps into that instinctive drive that recruiters have, delivering real results and meaningful connections, not endless rabbit holes. What I like most about our AI is that it's not robotic, it's conversational, it's intuitive. It learns your style, anticipates your needs, and amplifies your intuition. It's AI that works the way you do. It's AI that empowers your every move, validates your decision, boasts your confidence, and elevates your productivity. This isn't AI here to replace recruiters. It's AI to empower recruiters. So I like to say, welcome to Confidence on Demand, and welcome to hireEZ's Agentic AI. Let's go ahead and get started with it. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce hireEZ's co-founder, another community champion, and CEO, Stephen Jiang. Stephen, floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Shannon. I'm so glad to speak in front of hundreds of you in this webinar. Thank you so much for your time. Let me share my screen so that I can see all of you. All right. So, Shannon, you can see the screen, right?
I sure can.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. First of all, I want to share this very special day last Thursday. And also the same day we host the local event and launched our Agentic AI product. It was a great success, and people saw the product and gave a tremendous and positive feedback. So that's very, very encouraging. And March 27 marked hireEZ's 10th anniversary. It's been a decade of this journey. I feel very, very grateful that we have been doing so many amazing things and all the great memory together with our customers, users, community members, partners, and also including our competitors. So, and all the effort put together created the greatest memories of the past 10 years. And we have a long way to go. And I have been so lucky to work with some, I would say, smartest and also most hardworking people at a hireEZ in the past 10 years. And we have a lot of things changed in the past decade. But that's one thing never changed. That's about creating the greatest product and technology to provide the revolutionary experience for recruiters and to make talent acquisition easy, at least easier. So there are a few things we created. Back in October 2016, we released the world's first AI sourcing. And at that time, my co-founders and CTO and I, we saw this a very special opportunity between the search engine and professional site. It's very intuitive, actually. And the search engine was huge and had a lot of open web data, but then poor at professional search. And on the other hand, the professional site has very rich professional data, but was very poor at data intelligence. Then we say, hey, let's leverage the intelligence and the open web data to solve the sourcing issue. And we had a great success, huge success over there. So, and for many of you, the old friends, and you still remember the hydro moment. Yes, and that was the great product we provided. But that's not the only one. We created the innovative product. And back in February 2023, only 60 days after ChatGPT was released, and we launched our, I think it's a recruiting industry's first generative AI-based candidate outreach capability. And in the past 12 months, and there are more than 20 million emails sent out through hireEZ system, over 20 million, and the response rate was boosted by, on average, 38%. So this is a huge success and help for recruiters in their daily basis. So we are very proud of the constant innovations at hireEZ. Well, and today, the engineers told me that we are going to release something also very revolutionary and probably even more disruptive. They said we need to reinvent the experience of a job creation, job posting, sourcing, screening, scheduling, outreach, and also analytics. A lot. Okay, so it's end-to-end. So they want to create the new experience, and we call it's all-in-one recruiting platform at hireEZ. All in one, but we don't want to make it as a complicated. We want it to be very effective and end-to-end control for recruiters' experience. Okay, and you ready for what are we going to release? There we go. So this is something, okay. hireEZ, I call it's a magic whale. Okay, so they say this is the best Amazon bestseller today. So probably you can buy it through me online. So maybe get a 10% discount. Right. So we want the new dogs to learn the old trick. Write the notebook. Right. And maybe some of you say no, you don't believe that. Right. So yeah, you should not believe it because this is not what hireEZ truly should be expected to. Okay, but before we dive into what we truly will release today, and I want to talk about today's recruiter's biggest problem first. What is the biggest problem? Is the recruiting software itself. Let me repeat. Recruiters' biggest issue today is the recruiting software itself. Right. And this is I think this is the simplest way to describe what it is. For all the recruiting software, I'm saying all, including hireEZ, and it's very difficult to balance the capability and usability. As the system becomes more and more capable, we keep adding more and more features into it. The UI UX, the usability will be significantly and exponentially decrease. Okay, and so this is the fundamental relationship between these two for all the today's software. Okay, and usability and capability, they are not coexisted and balanced together. So, but for the best technology, and keep that in mind, if the technology is advancing so positively, and we should expect somewhere the usability will be the maximized while the capability can be maximized as well. Okay, so and let's dive one step further to see what is why the usability and capability and they have this unbalanced relationship. Okay, so let's take today's recruiting software as an example. And this is the one that some of you are very addictive to, okay? And to achieve a certain goal or finish a certain task, you need to fill in forms and you need to have several clicks, okay? But then what's behind your clicks and also the fields filling? And let's take this whole process, okay, and visualize and explain what's behind the scenes. From the start of the task to the end of the task to get a result, and you have several clicks, okay? And for each click, this is what happens behind the software, and you have the interface to interact, and then to access the database, to write or read this database, and that's the technology behind, right? But let's zoom in to see what's behind those are clicks, and all clicks together is called the designed software workflow and the user behavior. Okay, and then this is something we call how to. And recruiters spend a lot of time on learning how to get what you want. What you want is those tasks, okay, the result of the tasks. But then instead of getting what you want, you need to learn how to get to what you want. And we spent tremendous time on learning this how to. And what's worse is that a lot of recruiters are not that technical at learning and mastering those skills. And as a result, recruiters' capabilities have been limited. Okay, the bottleneck is about how technical you are at using software. But we all are very clear about what's the true value of recruiters. Okay, the true value of a recruiter is about finding, engaging, convincing the best candidates for the specific job to build the great business. And that's the value. So the value should not be determined by how technical you are at using software, right? And so that's the fundamental behind and the problem behind. So, and then you should expect the new recruiting software to be different. The new recruiting software should let you focus on what you want. You give what you want from one end, and from the other end, you get what you want. And the new software should handle all the logics behind. So that new recruiting software is called agent mode. Let me repeat. This is tomorrow's recruiting software. It's called agent mode. Agent mode. And of course, the technology behind is agentic AI. And that's exactly what hireEZ team has been focusing on in the past months. All right, so now you get ready to see how it looks like, right? And this is the easy agent sitting on the right side of every day of your work, side by side, work together with you. And that's the easy agent we designed. Okay, so it's not a siloed, independent, and fully autonomous agent that will replace your work. No, we want to make it as the companion sitting side by side with you to make your job better, right? So there are two fundamental differences between all other agent products in the market today. Number one, it's multi-step planning and execution. So from later, you will see the product demo. And for every step, we make our agent to execute through multiple steps to bring the optimal results or bring the best insights for you. So for instance, the typical search, if this is a just ChatGPT experience, and then you will get a very transactional message about, oh, you should change this title, or you should change that skills. No, what a hireEZ's agent does behind the scene is that it will quickly create hundreds of searches and to query the backend and to compare what are the search results, and then pick the best out of this hundreds of searches and provide the suggestions to the recruiter. Say, hey, I suggest you should have this best combination of search filters, and then simply one click, say apply, you get your best results. And that is agent mode. Okay, so multi-step planning and execution, that's huge, not only in search, in the outreach, in the scheduling, in the analytics, in almost every task our agent does will provide you the multi-step planning and execution. And the second very fundamental characteristics of the hireEZ's agent is that we provide the semi-autonomous agent for our users. Our product philosophy is about people-centric, AI first. And we want to put a recruiter in the center of the whole recruiting process. There are misleading products in the market today, and they make it pretty independent and also fully autonomous. I think that's an overpromise. Let's be honest. And also the other side, it's an under delivery of the today's best technology. So, and if we just simply embedded the generative AI into the product, it's not big enough regarding the value. So we want to provide this people-centric AI first, and we want to make recruiter better first. So we are very clear internally there at hireEZ that if the product, if the technology is right, then naturally it should make the users who are using that software, who are using that product, be way better tomorrow. Okay, so let's focus on that first. And before we are convinced that the recruiters cannot be better, that's absolutely not the case. Okay, and then let's focus on making recruiters better, more confident, and more rigorous at the daily work. All right, so my last message for our recruiting community members is also very, very clear. The recruiting landscape has changed. So let's lead the transformation. And the new recruiting model is urgently required. Instead of catching up, instead of chasing what others do, why not? We lead the transformation. Let's work together. And to make this transformation happen, start from us, from all of you on this webinar.
The future of talent acquisition isn't coming. It's already here. See for yourself at hireEZ.com.